See, so first I'm adding here the components, or else like you can do like work in any components there. What is command? Let's say API. Okay, so like we have added one components, and also like we'll go to in a routes to add the route here. And then we'll add into this here. Here only I'm adding this one anchor tag. Okay, so it's done the work of the your components only. It's API. So here like we have added this API operation. Okay, so this is only one components only, like we'll see now. So see, like as I said, first of all, before going in that components, I'll just prepare my this APIs only here, what I have to do. See, previously like when I was doing the work, like I was just like returning these things only. Here also you can see like I was just like returning the DTOs only. I'm not returning any entity because we want the clean objects. Okay, we are not looking into like the depth objects. So this is one the clean objects, but instead of like the return like the single object, just like go with the response. I want like the response. So how will we like return like the response in a form of status? So what different types of like the status we can return in like the Swing APIs? Okay, created, that are the status na basically. Yeah, bad request, not found, like many status are there. Correct. So like here like what I'm doing for returning any status, what we have to do, just you have to pass like the return type as response entity. So what I'm doing, like see, like I'm not doing any changes here, like this was my return type, previous was here, just like I'm adding here the response entity. Okay, so it's just asking for like the t is what, it's like the just type na. So like I'm just passing this whole thing inside the response entity because I'm returning this whole thing na here. Got it this? So my return type is like now response entity. So like instead of returning only DTO, I'm just returning this DTO inside the response, where it will return like the one status was there, now the OK or created something else. So here, what we have to pass here, the response entity dot just pass OK, or like the, as we know, like you can go with the status also. It's a OK will return like the 200 wala status na, that is success wala. And just DTO, like you can just load it na directly. Here only load it. That will be also fine. Or else like you can go with the status wala method, just load body in that also. Okay, both will work. So here I have written. So now I'll just like try to call this API over there in Angular. Here I think it is fetching the employee with the manager na, I think. Get mapping EMPS, here the postman is there. This one na, I think get wala. Application is not started, I think. So before consuming, just don't forget to start this application. Otherwise you will say like my code is correct, nothing getting any response. Now see like how we have to prepare like the consuming work. So where the cross origin, why it is required, we'll see here why it is required and where it is required. Okay, first I'm testing on it. If your API is not tested here na, so don't go in a consuming work. Make sure your API must be work here first in a postman. Okay, so this only we are expecting, you know, only one object it will be return. See here the manager name is also fetching, which data we have passed. But now this response I don't want here na, like I want in a like Angular, because we are passing the UI work there. So like I'll just come into the Angular now. See, now in Angular, if you wanted to like work for like any consuming work, the HTTP client now will help us now for sending the request is there. We can easily send the request, but the thing is what, like let's say I'm just fetching the employee, but the fetch employee wala request, if I do inside the API wala components only na, the only the individual components will take a help now of that. If suppose the same API wala like I just wanted to fetch the response in another components also. So again I think I have to write the same code na then. Instead of that, like what you have to follow then? Services. Like as we know, like in a Spring also, like we are creating the services only, na? Services most required, which are reusable. If you create, like if you not create the service, if you are directly writing the controller wala part, so what will happen there? Again the same method is required, so again like you have to write the same code then again and again. Don't do that things. Just make it the reusable, na? Because we don't know. In futures, like it must be used somewhere. Okay, so like what we'll do, like see my component is added there, like I'll just close this thing and I'll just open which, that is the HTML and the TS file we want, no only. Now the file is empty, there is nothing. So here see, like I'm not going to work inside this. What I'll do, I'll just create one service. Just note down on command for creating the service. Same command C, instead of passing the C for the components, now here you have to pass the service. And one service name, like I'm giving here, like let's say the employee, you can create like like the user define any service, the keyword, and then you have to provide the service name. See what is the difference when you are creating the service and when you are creating the components. Now the components, it's providing like the 4 files: HTML, CSS, TS and spec.ts, the testing wala file. Here it will provide only the 2 files. Only TS, because it is like one backend file only. TS and spec.ts, which is one the testing wala file is there. There is no HTML and there is no CSS. Only backend work like you have to do inside this. The parameter decorators was there, na, that is injects. So that you will get it here, the dependency injections. Okay, so manually like no need to do pass like any dependency injections over there. Easily like it will do inject. I'll show like how it is going there. I'll create the service. Can you see there, like my service is created here, EMP, and in this project, yes guys, all of you see here, see 2 files only it's added there. Here I don't need this spec.ts, I can delete it. Only one file is needed, no? That is TS file only, this one. Okay, so for your understanding, you can just give it the like name as EMP service, so you can understand over there. So what I'll do, like I'll just delete this. I'm just giving the name as EMP service, so like we'll understand then. It is also fine, it will not give the issues. Okay, for the better readability, like we'll give it the EMP service. Now we can see the name here. It's EMP service. Okay, as I said, like this spec.ts is optional file, it's on your hand only, like you can delete it or else skip it there only. Clear? So just I'll just come into this file now, which one that is API service. So don't do any implementation for C here now. See here one decorator is there at the inject table. This is called as dependency injections. So whenever you are calling this method na through this service class, so it's calling this dependency injection. If you remove this part na, so this dependency you cannot call like anywhere. Dependency is what? Dependency is nothing but the service which is you are injecting somewhere na. So in our Java, like in a Spring Boot, like where we are injecting like the dependency in a controller, and here we are injecting into the components, because in a components only like we are doing the work na there. Everything is going inside the component itself. So the inject table, it is like the one built-in decorators which is helping us for injecting the dependency. So it is one like the service. So like what I'll do, like here I'll just create one constructor here. Constructor for what? I want the HTTP client which is help us na for like requesting and like for taking the responses. So for creating constructor, as I said, like we'll create the constructor by taking the same constructor name. There is no body for the constructor, only there will be some parameters. You know the constructor injections, the same constructor injection only like we have to follow here, like we are not using the field injections, constructor injection only. So how we do the constructor injection? See, like the HTTP, like I want the HTTP client wala object here for requesting the data na here. So what I'll do, like I'll just create the private object. It is like not necessary, but just try to make it private, because that services will be made for that components or like that service only. Let's say my object name is what? HTTP. How we are creating the object or that things? By colon na here in Angular. And for like which class like we are creating these objects? See, which is present inside which package? Common HTTP. Got it? I have created this object, and now what I'll do, like I'll just like look for the URL, no, one URL like which I'm going to consume it. So which URL like I want? Can I take this one from the Postman? This one, no, only, which now we have tested. This is one the URL which API is like already working there. Now this response like I want in my components. So what I'll do, like I'll just like pass one method here. Okay, inside the service, it's a get employees. You can pass like any methods to user defined methods, and what the method will return here will take the help of this object HTTP dot, and here you can see like the HTTP request, because HTTP client is only responsible to send the request, na. So there are get, post, put, delete. So which request we have to send it now here? Get request. It's are the inbuilt keyword, basically the requests are there, and in that like we have to send URL. It's asking for the URL only. So we are accessing from the outsides this dot URL. That's it. The work is done. Now go in your components. I'll inject this dependency into now components now for taking the help of this method now. This work is done. I call this URL here. Where I have to come now? In a TS or HTML API? TS. Here first. So again, like we are using the constructor injection, we'll create the constructor. So what we have to create the object, which dependency we have to inject? Service. We'll create object service. For which service? EMP service. Can you see there? It's injected. No need to create the object. There is no body, only the parameters. After that, I'll create the method load, let's say employee data, and here we are calling that method na from the service. Yes, so like can I write here that this dot service, and which method we have to call? This get employees wala. Can you see there? It's calling the observable methods here. Are you getting this? So it will try to fetch the data from the URL now, but after fetching, like I don't need to fetch, like we just need to like populate it also na, we need to emit it. So for that, like we'll take the help of subscribe, curly braces open close. Same, which function like I told? Next colon, just pass you the response or like anything, arrow function, and for the error function also like I'm making, which will handle the error na, which is the common here. That's it. So where I have to handle my response? Inside this body. So what I'll do, like the response is present now inside the res na. Once I'll display likely the response now, I'll get the response. So can I just do the console now first? We'll check in a console whether the data is getting or not. See, I'm just displaying this, or else it will just come inside this and the console, let's say error na, here it will display the error. Understood this? But need to call this method somewhere na, then only this method will call. There is no event, and if you are loading the initially this method somewhere, so we cannot pass any event na there. So what we'll do like there, then you have constructor also. In constructor also you can call the method, but constructor is not calling the primary here. The primary is calling to the ngOnInt, like which one like I was talking na. So like right now we don't know that ngOnInt term. So now what I'm doing, like I'm just calling inside the constructor itself. Okay, so which method like we have to call? Load employee data. Done, my method is called. I'll save this, and where I have to go now? Here na. It's running or it stopped? Wait, I will again restart it. Now see, yeah, like it will not work because it's not fully completed work. So we have to check like where the which things are like the required. We'll open the inspect over there. API, na? It's only. I think I have not called here in app.html. I called, no? Wait, let me check the my route dot routes. It's API only, no? Is anything is missing here? See, we'll go in inspect. So console will throw something, na, here. Yes, can you see here what it is saying? No provider found for the HTTP clients. Okay, so what it is asking, na, the HTTP client, like we have just call into the service only. It's asking for like the global one where the main module is present, na, main module, because component it is like the one in hierarchy, na, but which is present inside the module. So what we have to do, like HTTP client, like we need to declare like the globally, where in a config.ts. In config.ts, like we'll commit here, and here only like you have to pass provide HTTP client, and here there is one method that is with fetch. It's not for fetching method, it's just method for like invoking the HTTP client here. Okay, it's not for fetching only. Here like you can perform like now all of the operation. Now we'll see what other things are going there. Just refresh it, and where I have to go there? API operations. So can you see there, like it's what it is saying now? Origin, it's block the CORS policy, the cross origin resource sharing, na? It's just asking the access. We have to give like the access to that, na? Because the Spring only it is not allowing to the Angular, like you cannot access these things. So for that, like what we have to do, like we'll come into the here in APIs. So right now, like there is one control, so like I'm doing here only the cross origin. That course like we have to access over there. So how to do that? Like we'll pass one annotation that is. Can you see the cross origin? And in the cross origin, like you have to provide the URL to which URL like you are allowing now. Like you can access my APIs. Which URL? Star will also work. So I am just sharing this. I'm just accessing for the 4200 only. Only this port will take access over there. Okay, we'll save this file. It is refreshed there. Now we'll come to application again. We'll again take a refresh. See, something is written there. This data is getting written na here. It means it is responding. But now this data I want in a table, in HTML table. How will I get it in HTML table now? Here it is returning na the data we are getting inside the log. So can I do one thing here? Just like we'll take it like the one variable. It's a emp data, and data type is any. So instead of displaying in a console.log, what we'll do like here? Yes, this dot is equals to response, no? So we are just like storing this response into the emp data. Now you know like how to pass that ngFor or for loop, like you can go with that, no? It's very easy. In HTML, na here. Can I take it like the bootstrap here? See, I think it's very easy. take this. How we have to form this? We'll just remove this. Can I pass ngFor only, or for loop also you can pass it? It's your choice only. If for the ngFor it will require the common module, na here. Import this common module and just go inside it. What we have to do here? Star ngFor, na it is let any variable of emp data. Here what we are displaying? X dot, check the column here. EID, na? EID, ename, email, eSalary and mname. EID, we'll copy this. Here it is. Ename. It is email. eSalary. And mname. See, like no need to pass any reference na here. And the headings are name, email, salary and manager name na here. We'll copy this. Manager. We'll save this. It's easy or difficult? You can send any request. It's not for fetching wala only. You can send like any request with the same body. There is no need to change anything here. Which body like we have sent here, this one. Just don't forget this body, that next and error wala. Here only like you have to pass anything, whatever the things you have to perform there.
If you are sending click, so you have to call this method.
Method, yes, in a UI, HTML,
In event binding.
event binding like that. Understood? I think the consuming wala work you can see there. It's easily get consumed, na? No error, nothing. Post wala you have to make it the form, reactive form. Reactive form make it, and what field you require there? Don't take the EID there. EID is not required, na? Form group. Email, sorry, ename, email, salary and MID. Not mname, na? Through the MID, like, so which API like you will call there? This one add wala. So here also like if you want the response, here like we'll pass the response entity, will pass the string, na? We are just like responding the message only. Response entity dot pass the message this. Try this one. I'll give the idea what you have to do. Same body it will go with this. The submit wala event also like you know now how the data is going, that all the data like we are submitting at the same time only, na? The thing is like now you have to create like the one more APIs, because you know option like you are fetching the managers also here, the manager list. Yes or no? The we need like the manager list there. I think we have not created the get managers wala API. Correct? In option it should be fetched, na? After that only like we'll select which manager like we want there. So how the option select tag will look there? Tell me. I'm just giving idea. Suppose there is form. How select tag will look? Let's say like I'm fetching the managers wala data. How it will look? Form. Let's say in a form, select tag is there. So tell me like here how it will look. If the get managers like you are calling, na, the one function you are calling, and which of the response like it will get it, you will store into some property, na, just a variable property like you will take it there. In option what you will pass there, tell me. Here also ngFor like I can pass it, na? ngFor same let your variable, let's say s of which manager data like you will get it. Correct, from the backend. here only like you want the value na, basically from the option you are sending the value. So the value is equals to what you will pass the value here.
Property binding.
It's property binding na, the value. How will you pass it? Otherwise, yeah, just pass it like this, or just use the here like need to use the property binding, the value. You're binding the property na, and here like you will use s dot. You are sending the MID na from this. If you use the property, so like no need to pass this interpolation there. If you are passing normal value, so need the interpolation then here. Correct? Either this or this. And what you are going to display here inside the option m name na here. So same interpolation you will pass s dot m name. So manager name will populate it here. Save all option data will goes there. Like the same method na, here it will get it. You will get this response. Once the response will get it, like here only just pass the alert message. No need to store anywhere. Alert data save. No need to load anything like that. The response like you can take it from the backend sides also. Which response? Just alert. You have to display the response na.
How to send data to the where to send data?
Which data?
Form data. Where we have to
Form
send that form data? Here.
The post wala na. The post wala API, like how it will look now here, like when you will come into the services. Let's say add employees. This one is also changed na. The URL like I think it will the same na.
Yes.
So what it will return? This dot HTTP dot post. See, it's asking the two parameter now, URL comma your body. So like you can take like the one your parameter, let's say data. It's any na, we don't know anything here. Here first like we'll pass the URL comma your data. Now this data is going where? In a submit one na, in a post. Here. So this is your function na, like that. When you will call the function like the this dot service dot, which method you are calling? Add employees. After that subscribe and everything will be the same body. Only here like it will ask for the one parameter. So which parameter like you have to pass? This object na, which object like we are creating there. Do you remember that in a form group like we are passing the object? Just object pass it, this dot that form group all object name. So it will collect whole data from it. Understood? Try it. It's very simple. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Just try to consume it. Try to work on your APIs. See, body is same everywhere. No need to change the body. This body will be the same everywhere.